Well guys, welcome to the start of the 2018 vlog series. The videos this year will be pretty much the same type of content as it was last year, but we decided that we should probably make a new playlist and restart the vlog series in case people are going back through our videos and just have a better way to organize the channel. So welcome to the new series, I guess. The goal for this weekend was to do a little bit of coyote hunting, maybe some rabbit hunting, maybe shoot whatever is in season. Come out here on the public land while we go get our trail cameras and bring them in for the off season. However, I have been pretty unsuccessful at doing both of those. Most of my trail cameras have been stolen this year. I would say of the 5 that were still up, I grabbed some of them during the hunting season, but of the 5 that were still up, I'd say I had I've only found 1 actually this weekend, now I think about it, and I'm thinking that this one will still be up because I was in here not too long ago hunting it, but I'm hoping that this one is up. So I mean, 2 out of 5 is not very good odds, and we already had 2 other ones stolen earlier in the year, and it's just pretty disappointing. Just as like a public service announcement, don't steal other people's stuff. It's really disappointing when, you know, other hunters and other sportsmen, conservationists are stealing property that belongs to someone else. I mean, if you find a trail camera on public land, it's not yours for the taking. I mean, you should know that. You shouldn't feel right doing that. And most hunters are really good people, and they know this, they understand this. But there's that, you know, 5% maybe, or a low number, that think that they're entitled to everything and might take stuff that doesn't belong to them. And that's just unfortunate, because that's not how we want to represent hunters. That's not what we want people to think about us. And you know, it's the 5% that stand out. It's not the 95% or whatever it is that are really good conservationists and really good people. So it's just unfortunate. And public service announcement: don't steal other people's stuff just because you find it and it's not locked up. You know, a lot of people tell me that I need to lock them up, and I probably should. And I thought putting them up high in the trees would be enough this year, but I guess I was wrong. Shouldn't have to do things like that. People should just know not to take things. Some people have said to set up 2 cameras and try to catch the thieves, but that's just 2 more. It's another camera for the thieves to take. I mean, I'm not just gonna, I don't have unlimited funds, and I'm not just gonna put up a bunch of cameras and try to get pictures of the thieves. It's not gonna do me any good anyway. What am I gonna do with a picture of a thief? But anyway, today, sorry I'm walking and talking, it might be a little shaky, but I don't have a lot of time. I'm trying to get to this last camera before I run out of light here and before I run out of time this weekend. I'm also gonna make 1 set for coyote up here, and we'll see if we can turn this weekend around. It's still been good to get out in the woods. It's been beautiful out, so I've been still enjoying it. And anyway, this video is kind of all over the place, but hopefully you're enjoying it. Haven't done a real vlog in a while where I update you guys, so it's good to get talking to the camera again. Alright, I'm gonna start calling. This is gonna have to be really quick because light's fading, camera light's fading at least. There's no legal shooting hours for coyotes in Iowa, so don't have to worry about that, but I do have to be able to see them, to, you know, shoot them, so need to get going. It's gonna be a super quick set. I'm gonna check that trail camera, but basically this is just river bottom timber. I know that there's quite a few coyotes in here. I saw some tracks coming in, and I've had trail camera pictures of coyotes in this area, and the wind's kind of coming across me this sound will carry. There's not much wind, and they should be on their feet hunting, even though I haven't called in any today, but we'll see what happens. Well guys, I didn't end up seeing any coyotes, and luckily that camera was there, so all in all, I guess that evened out, and it was one of the more successful outings of that weekend. But I actually wanted to end the video with just a little bit of a reflection on last season. You know, some of the things that I thought we did well, and some of the things that I think we could improve on and do better next season to make us more successful. And I won't touch on everything because there's just a lot to it. I mean, with how much we hunted, and you know, you'll have to keep tuning into this new vlog series to hear us keep reflecting back on last season. We're always learning from mistakes and always learning from previous experiences on previous seasons. And you know, I'll start out with what I think we did well. That's one of the things I think we did really well, is just learning from previous seasons. On the area that I shot my buck last year, Trevor was able to go in there, and on a whim, he was able to go in there and have a successful hunt and kill his biggest buck ever. So that was great. That was stellar. We were able to learn on experiences from last year and find that spot last year and have a successful hunt in the exact same spot. And we actually would have had another kill on a mature public land buck out of that same area, same pinch point in that public land unit, that when I went in there during Thanksgiving week and had that pretty nice 10-point cruising by, and he ended up just winding me right before presenting me with a shot. So 2 close calls on an area that we already knew a lot about, and I think that's something that we did really well on, is just learning from experiences last year and capitalizing on those opportunities. I think we also did a very good job of trying new things this year and trying new areas, I might add. You know, now you're going to hear that this is a positive and negative, but it was almost like this whole last season was an entire scouting mission, at least for me. I hunted probably over 50% of my hunts were in places that I had never been to before, and you know, a lot of it was just based on maps. And I would say almost a quarter of my hunts were completely new units that I hadn't been to before. So that's like areas that I never even stepped foot on. I would go and try to be successful on. And I learned a lot from that. That was really good for the channel, you know, learning different habitat types and sharing those experiences with you guys, learning different deer behavior and trying to scout along the way. It was really good for the channel and really good for me as a hunter, just learning all these different areas and different skills to become a better deer hunter and share that with you guys. And that's also going to be very beneficial down the line as we covered all this new ground, all this new public land around us this year, and learned these new things. We're going to be able to benefit from that next season and so on, and be able to have better seasons down the line because we already know what we're getting into. So all in all, I'm happy that we did that and hunted so many new areas, because that's really going to benefit us down the line. The last main thing that I'll bring up and touch on really quick that I think we did really well is I think we did a good job of keeping the pressure off of private land areas, some of the areas that we can control the pressure. I think we did a fairly good job of keeping the pressure low so that we'd have better hunting, and then at the same time kind of being a little bit more risky and pushing in a little bit harder on public land areas and areas that we can't control how much pressure that area receives. And I think there was a good balance of that. Like in public land situations, we would often push into bedding areas, and that definitely risks slowing down deer movement and hurting things. But when you're bouncing around to so many different public land areas all the time, I honestly don't know if I hunted the same spot more than twice all year. I might have, but I really don't think so. So when you're doing that much bouncing around, it's okay to be a little bit more aggressive. And in areas where you can't control the pressure, I think it's going to benefit you to be aggressive. So at the same time though, take for example our private land in Missouri. We stayed out of there until middle or late October, and it was at first some of the best hunting we had seen down at the farm. And you know, we hunted smart. We tried not to bump deer going in the mornings. We tried to stay in the stand and let deer move off in the evenings. And I think overall we probably bumped less deer this year, and it showed throughout the season. Definitely some of the deer caught on to us, and some of the action slowed down, but definitely better than previous years. And we did the best we could for having 3 people hunting 160 acres every single weekend. So I think we did a pretty good job of that on our private land farm. And another example is up when I'm hunting with Jack up at his place. I mean, that's a decent sized woodlot here in Iowa. I'd say the whole woodlot is probably 150, 200 acres maximum, surrounded by cornfields and different draws. And we actually only have a very small portion of that woodlot to hunt. I mean, our total good hunting spots on that piece that we have permission to hunt is, I don't know, it's not very big at all. It's not the 200 acres. So us staying out of there, I don't think he hunted it until Halloween weekend, I think, is actually when we first went up there and hunted it. And us staying out of there just increased the hunting opportunities by more than you can even imagine. I mean, every time we went in there, it seemed like we would have an amazing hunt, seeing close to 20 deer almost every time. And we just hunted it on good winds. We didn't make irrational decisions and push in there. We really didn't bump very many deer, and every time we hunted that, we just had a great hunt. He ended up seeing several shooters out there, and I ended up getting an arrow in a really nice old buck. And unfortunately, we couldn't recover that deer. Didn't get enough penetration on the shot, but that just shows that even on an area where you don't have a lot of hunting area, I guess, you can manage the pressure and have awesome deer hunting. So I was really proud of how Jack hunted that, and I was thankful that he took me along with him, and I was able to hunt with him on that area. But now to get into things that, or it's mainly just one thing that I think we could do a little bit better next year is, you know, like I said, this season felt like a giant scouting mission, and I think that definitely did bring our success down just a little bit. You know, when you're hunting a new area, I think it'd be really easy to go in there. If you only hunt an area once all season, you know, you can go in there, have a perfect plan. Maybe a buck is there, you know, half the time, 50% of the time, and you end up missing him that one day and you don't see that buck. If you never come back there, now you're kind of marking that spot as not a great spot. Obviously, you weren't successful. And I think that can be a little tricky because maybe you're just unlucky that day. And I mean, it could be 9 times out of 10 that buck is there, but that one time you could have just missed him. So when you don't hunt an area repetitive times, I think it'd be easy to get a false impression about a spot, I should say. So I think doing that and hunting areas so few times might have hurt us, and I think we could do a little bit better job next year and stay a little bit more consistent rather than trying new things, no matter how fun it is to just dive into a new area. It's kind of very intriguing. But, you know, overall, I think we did a pretty good job last season, and I'm looking forward to future seasons. I was really happy with how we were always trying new things. I got to hunt a ton of different areas, and overall it was an awesome season. I can't believe it's over, and I don't know what I'm going to do until turkey season. It's already eating away at me, and I want to get back out in the woods. But that was just a little bit of a reflection, and hopefully you guys could learn from that a little bit. And hopefully it was interesting to hear my thoughts on how last season went. So anyway, thanks for watching the video, and hopefully you'll join me for the rest of the 2018 vlog series. Thanks for watching.